and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with Sean Bell.
All right.
Matt Murray.
Wait.
James Farley back in the house.
Hello.
James, you got some news, haven't you?
What news?
You're a doctor now, aren't you?
I am, yeah. Yeah.
Are you officially a doctor yet, or have you still got to finish a couple of things off?
No, I've still got a couple of things I've got to finish off and submit like the final thing, but yeah, it's done. I've just got to give it in, and then it's done. And then that's it.
Right, so I've been thinking about this a lot over the past, for a couple of months, actually. And every time we've spoken about this, I've been adamant that I am never, ever going to call you doctor, ever. I'm never going to give you that right. And and then I thought, I totally had a 180 like in the week when we were talking about it again. I thought, hold on. Actually, I think... Personally, James will find it even more irritating if I only ever refer to him as Doctor. So I think that's the way I'm going to go with it. What do you reckon?
So you're actually...
like that, James?
Well, the thing is, you're probably actually right about that, because I already feel very uncomfortable by it. So I think, yeah, that probably will make me feel worse. So yeah, go ahead.
And we got a long drive next week, and no doubt... knowing us two, we'll be stopping off in a couple of service stations, and I will be shouting across the thing, Dr. Farley, at the top of my voice several times.
That'd
so
be the worst.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be the worst. Don't do that.
Can't wait. I've cracked it. I've found the worst possible thing that can happen, and that's what it is. Hello and welcome back to the Computer Game Show. We are back for another week of talking about computer games. Matt, was there any follow-up this week?
No, there was at one point a massive conversation on Twitter between like Liam Cox and Gargett and everyone about how to pronounce Smough, etc. But let's not go into it. That
was 2 weeks ago, though, right?
No. There was another
continued.
There was another one this week with yeah.
I think we've ruffled a few feathers as well with the Kane and Rince lot. You know what I mean? Mixing it up a little bit. They're like, I noticed a few comments about the stuff we were saying about Josh last week, and well, you know what I mean. Come on, have a go if you think you're hard enough, all right?
Yeah, so I mean, in terms of the pronunciation, the final word is basically it's basically like it's sumo, but basically because because Sue is shorter, it's actually Smo. It's like S anyway. It's Smo. The answer is it's Smo.
It's the Japanese thing of not being able to have two consonants next to each other, basically.
Yeah.
So.
And the Sean Bell thing of trying to be different.
Yeah, boy.
Right. Another thing that happened this week is we had a text message. We've got a group set up on WhatsApp that's all about the Computer Game Show, and it's filled with banter throughout the week.
Oh, right. Brilliant.
This week we had a text message from Matt. I think it was Friday. Guys, I think we should organise a meeting for the PSVR weekend we've got planned. How's Saturday for everyone? Then there was just silence. And then it was, or Sunday, we could do Sunday. Then there was just silence. And then a couple of days later, the next message in that group was, should we just chat before the show? And everyone
Still
just went,
silence.
yeah,
No.
yes. And then Matt was, I suppose you were a little bit late because you're training for your PES League that we've got set up, right?
Yeah, big training match.
So I said, why don't we just do it on the show? Let's let people behind the curtain and see what happens. I can't wait to hear what your agenda is, Matt.
I didn't really want to do it on the show.
Imagine. I don't care. I just can't possibly imagine what you've got to say and what questions you've got to ask. So go, let's do it.
Well,
let's have this meeting.
Innocent. I just thought, why don't we have a little chat on the weekend and we can discuss things in case, well, this is going to sound quite mumsy, but in case I need to get stuff in, as it were. Do we really need to do this on the show?
Yeah, we do. Well, when else are we going to do it? Go on.
We could have done it on Saturday when I asked everyone.
I just want to hear what you want to ask. Like, I'm intrigued.
Dave, first question, are you bringing your blow-up bed?
Oh, yeah, I'll bring my blow-up bed. Oh, shit, I've got to get that sorted.
Right, okay, then...
Yeah, I'll bring a blow-up bed.
Okay, then, Sean, if you can stay in the spare room, James and Dave, you can sleep downstairs.
I've got to do that. This is boring.
I'm not sleeping where he is. Not again.
I thought that was the best for everyone.
Well, with two things, James. Why not?
Because
I've got two rebuttals to this already.
Well, okay, last time you snore like ridiculously.
I was going to say
I do snore ridiculously, but so do you, right? You snore like a motherfucker as well. But carry on. What's the next thing?
Also,
okay.
you keep you keep trying to play games like as well. Like, you know, you don't want to go to bed, and it's annoying. It's
I'm not 12.
I was going to say, when you say play games, you mean like on a console, or it's like, oh, let's get in our sleeping bags, we'll have a game of Night Worms.
It just looks.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Actually,
Actually, I might sleep downstairs.
looks under a duvet, and I'm sitting there playing Lights Out.
no, fortunately, it's just Pez. It's usually just Pez.
Yeah,
James.
Although it's Matt that usually bows out of Pez first, right?
Well,
Yeah.
James, are you likely to go to bed at 10 o'clock, or are you going to be like a 4 a.m.? because that might determine where people sleep.
I don't know. See, the thing
He's
is, Matt,
a
I mean, I'm
doctor now.
tired right now. You know, so
Oh, God.
you know, it's,
You might have to sleep in my bed, and I'll change the sheets. It's okay. But,
Okay,
you know,
next point
I
on the
wanted to know if
agenda.
anyone had any food allergies. This shouldn't be on the podcast.
Are you being serious?
I want
Are
to know
you
what everyone
being
wants to eat
serious?
so I can get food
Is that a
in.
serious? Is that a serious thing?
What if anyone's like extremely picky about food, and if you wanted to go out for curry on Friday night, or
What I know is like, what I really like about this question is that it's specifically aimed at Sean.
Yeah,
because
'cause
you
we-
know that what me and James eat.
I
it's like we've been
I
up there
watched-
many times. It's like, you know what we eat.
Yeah, well, I
It's-
know you two eat anything, but I just wanted to make sure I felt comfortable in my house. Sean,
Sean,
are
have you got any
picky, or
food
do you mind a
allergies?
curry on a Friday?
Oh, I don't
yeah,
eat
curry
any
would be
sort
wicked.
of wheat.
I've no known allergies.
No,
Good.
no.
Next question.
I had more. I'll probably drop some in during the show. I just want to make sure everyone had a nice weekend.
Matt, you were going to get us together on
Yeah,
that
I said
Saturday
5
night
minutes.
for that.
I didn't have an agenda.
You
I
could have
chucked
just put those.
I chucked the agenda away.
You could have just put those messages in the group chat. Matt.
I also want to talk about the live show, the live thing we're going to do.
Right, okay, so live thing, what are we going to do?
Well, I wanted to know what time everyone wanted to do it. I think 7 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, I'll do.
I'm going to be pretty pissed by 7 o'clock on Saturday.
By 7 o'clock?
Well, okay, good.
Yeah, it's probably.
Yeah,
he's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I will start drinking about 11:30 on the
So
Saturday.
what, are we saying earlier, later, what?
I don't know, it just depends how coherent you want me. I mean, the further we get into Saturday, the worse it's going to get. And no one likes a drunk podcast. Have you heard podcasts where they try and drink during the show?
No, I don't
Like
want to do that.
properly drink?
It's awful.
An absolute
It's an
disaster.
absolute nightmare. I've never heard a good one.
Okay, I'm going to say 7 o'clock on Saturday then.
Oh, tell a lie, I have heard a good one when Chet and John did it, and they were absolutely.
That
Chet
was good.
just like slurring his words. Right? That was a good one. That was a good one. Okay, cool.
7 o'clock on Saturday. What?
We'll do. Okay, so should we aim for 7 o'clock on Saturday then? Yeah, because
Yeah,
then the
well,
football's out of the way.
Well, that's what I've said it on our YouTube channel. So yes, let's go 7.
Okay, we're streaming on YouTube.
Yeah. So the plan is, so for those of you who didn't listen to last week's show, and if so, what the fuck are you doing here right now? Go back and listen to that one. But we're gonna. I say potentially. We're definitely gonna do we're gonna basically live stream a podcast on Saturday, the 15th of October. I just thought, as everyone's coming to my house and PSVR's out, why don't we try and do something stupid? And that's what we're going to try and do. So we've got webcams, we've got a USB mic. I picked up 6 GoPros from work. I went. I don't know why.
no.
I just did.
Matt,
What do you mean
gonna
no,
be like,
James?
Are you going
'Cause
to be
I-
like putting these on our heads as soon as we get there, and then just like
No,
screaming?
I'm not creating like an action. We're not creating like a sports action film. They're in the room
Do you know what's
and every
going?
bedroom.
Do you know what's gutting is that I haven't got a GoPro here because sticking it on my head and filming the whole trip down with James that would just be brilliant. But because I've got that camera on my head, I will be constantly winding James up. But now I can't do that.
I'm bringing my Vita.
That's
I'm just...
So yeah, so we're basically gonna do like I guess the podcast, but on video, live on YouTube. The audio will be available as a podcast later in the week, of course. But if you want to watch us talk about, well, one, we're going to record in the same room together for the first time. I mean, we've probably recorded other podcasts together. I know we did one at EGX a couple of years ago, or a few years ago. Either way, we're going to be recording the Computer Game Show live. We're going to stream it on YouTube Saturday the 15th of October at 7 o'clock. So if you go to youtube.com/Computer Game Show, there's like a little reminder thing. You can go on there, you can set a reminder. It'll notify you when the show's going live. And
Matt,
of course, we'll be
is
tweeting
it
about it in the lead up.
Is it too difficult now to fix GoPros to our forehead and have a web page where people could just flick between whose eyes they want to see through on the podcast?
See, I kind of think that would be
easier.
amazing. That would be totally amazing to do that.
It'd be easier,
don't.
surely, just to like get some gaffer tape and like stick our iPhones with Periscope on to our head. Let's just do that instead.
I'm not doing that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so to summarise today's meeting, I'm bringing a blow-up bed, there are no food allergies, and we're streaming at 7 o'clock.
We're going for a curry on Friday.
Yeah. Everyone fancy that?
Any other business? Yeah, well, I'm up for a curry. I'm always up for a curry. Bang up for a curry,
cool.
boy, do you know what I
We'll
mean?
probably have some, Mark from Spong might be there, my other mate James might be there. It's going to be...
I'll leave off.
I think that's about it. I've been quite mumsy over this whole thing, so I'll put up lots more questions and an itinerary on the Friday, guys. Okay.
Please don't do an itinerary.
I don't even know what that means, so no, I won't be doing that.
I'm gonna get very, very drunk. So chuck that out the window, all right? It's very rare that I get away from this family, and this weekend I'm really going to take advantage of it. I'm going to drink a lot of alcohol.
Sorry, obviously Sean...
Jones just walks in the room. She looks furious, but so she's heard that bit. But
See,
I'm going to get very drunk.
This is what I was worried about, and I was hoping that Sean was going to be like a moderating influence on like the whole thing. But you're just going to go mad, aren't you, Dave?
No, Sean's just going to Sean's just going to spur me on. Like, knowing that he's not drinking and he's being his dad's self is going to just have the complete opposite effect. I'm going to go mental.
I'm just worried, Dave, of you drinking and also trying out VR. I might have to bring sick buckets.
I'm not you. I'll be all right. In fact, actually, I was going to suggest that I just have a bucket on the table while we talk about PSVR, just in case someone throws up. But there you go.
Good chance.
Okay.
Be careful of that. What's it called the shower curtain again this time, Matt. You know, after what happened last time.
Let's not go into that.
Can I just ask one final thing?
I've got more questions. Go on,
Matt. You're getting the PS Vita on Thursday.
PS Vita? What year is this?
Sorry, the PSVR.
I've got one of them, mate. I'm not going to Leeds to have a go on a fucking Vita. Jesus.
Didn't he tell you? He swapped
surprise.
out. So Matt's getting the PSVR on Thursday.
Correct.
We're arriving Friday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Have you decided whether you're going to try and not
open it? I am going to try. I've been excited for VR for years, but I'm going to try. I'm basically not. No, I'm going to open the box to download the demos because there's loads like codes you need to get. So I'm going to open the box to get the demos, but I'm not going to properly get the thing out until we're all together because I just thought everyone can share that sort of new console feeling together. Why not?
No? I don't think you're going to survive, mate.
Yeah,
I don't think you've got hope in hell. Because I know how crazy you are. Like, I know how insane you are about everything and how excited you get. I think we're going to get there.
If you guys don't care for that, then I'll gladly open it on the Thursday night. But I thought, I'm such a nerd. I thought it'd be interesting if we all found out what a setup process was like. But if you guys don't care about that, then we'll open it on my own. It's up to you.
Imagine if you plug it in and there's like an 8 gig patch or something.
Yes. That is a good point.
You just plug it in, like, right, we'll go for a curry then. See you later.
I'll just check Reddit for that, so I'm not worried about that so much. But yeah, it's a good point actually. But I'll get the download codes out, and that's about it. I'll try and hold off until Friday, and we can all
okay. So listeners, pause the podcast once I've finished this little bit that I'm saying now, and then send us a tweet. Put #YesMatt if you want him to wait. And so that we can all do the setup process together, or #NoMatt. If you don't want us to do that, send that to Computer Game Pod. Is that what we are on Twitter?
Is that Computer Game Pod? Yeah.
Yeah, at Computer Game Pod.
It would probably make more sense, Dave, if you said it as like, should you open it? Yes, Matt. Or should you open it? Should you not open it?
No. Yes, Matt, if you want us to do it. No, Matt, if you don't.
Just create a poll. Just create a poll in Twitter.
Nah, it's not as fun. Shut up, James.
You fucked the conversation up, Dave.
You literally have the worst ideas ever. You know that.
What, making things easier? It's rather than just like pissing around. You going, what's the address? What's our ID?
It's not as fun.
You know,
it's not as fun. It's not as fun. So I'm assuming that's live show promo Matt on the agenda.
That's that
I've got in front of me. Next, we've got news. Who put this bit of news, and what is it?
I think we all know who put it down.
I opened it and then it started playing an advert with sound and it annoyed me, so I closed it.
This is going to be a good week, listeners. It's a good week of podcasting from your boys, the Computer Game Show. What is that link? Who put it there?
Well, who do you think put it there? Obviously, it's going to be me, isn't it? It's
Yeah, of course it is. Right. All I've got in front of me is a headline saying Mario is a young man in his mid-20s, then a link.
Well, this is the thing.
Explain the story to me.
Okay, the story is, and yeah, I just opened the website, and Sean is right. They start auto-playing a video, which is awful. Press pause. Anyway.
Come on.
Yeah, so the story is that they talked with Miyamoto last week, and it turns out that he says that Mario is only 24 or 25 years old.
That's bullshit, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's clearly bollocks. He's like 40-odd.
That's exactly what I said. I thought he looks at least like in his 40s. 24 or 25 with that moustache. You know, it's ridiculous.
How many years does it take to train as a plumber?
I don't know, that's a good question.
Mm.
If he's not qualified, I don't want to play his games anymore.
To be fair, I mean, it probably doesn't take you till your mid-20s. It's not like becoming a doctor or something. You've got to like go through school for 9 years. But no, it's the tash, isn't it? The tash is what ages him. Because it's a dad tash.
But also, he's wearing dungarees.
That's true. But you see also, like, it says here...
fuck this. Is there any other news? This is shit.
No, because there's a good point here. GameSpot make a good point. No, GameSpot make a really good point. This means that 50-year-old Bob Hoskins played a 20-something in the Super Mario Brothers film.
That's an excellent point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is there any real news this week?
No, there's nothing.
Matt, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a few games. I've played a bit more Go Home. And I haven't finished it yet.
James, if you ever do that again, right, and bring the show to a halt, think about what you're putting in that fucking Google Doc, all right?
Totally baiting you. I knew that you'd be like this. It's brilliant.
Don't try and do the old switcheroo. Oh, I knew you were going to be angry with me for this. Just don't do it again. Go on, Matt.
Well,
sorry, I interrupted you there.
I've played more Grow Home. In the week, Capone messaged us, me and Dave, said, Dave, you would hate Grow Home. I'm starting to definitely think that Capone's right. I don't think you'll like this game, Dave.
Why is that?
Huh?
Well, two things. Why does everyone say that about certain games? It's really bizarre. Like, it's just this weird thing. I remember when I told Sam White that I liked Life is Strange, and he just went, huh? Really? I didn't think you'd like that game. It's like, what? Why not? I don't understand. But
don't you think it's weird that people only say this to you, David, and not anyone else?
I'm a bit of a knob, so I get it. Right, I do get it. I do understand why people think, oh no, this is actually for intelligent people, not for Dave. I get that, but I don't. I don't know. It's weird. Why? Explain yourself. Why would I not like it?
I think you get bored fairly quickly. There's not an awful lot going on, but anyway, I've quite enjoyed it. I haven't finished it yet, but.
What is it? Just like it is very repetitive, or what?
It's quite slow. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but there's just a lot of jumping. There's no dialogue. I'll be happy if you tried it, but I'm thinking it won't be one of your games of the year. As well as Go Home, which I haven't finished, I've also played War Thunder. Now, this is I started playing this and I thought this is a classic James Farley style game. Are you guys aware of War Thunder?
I keep seeing it on the PSN store, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a free to play. I mean, I've only been playing in the aircraft, but basically it's like does anyone remember Air Attack? It's like a free to play sort of dogfighting sim on Windows PCs like absolutely ages ago, like years and years and years ago. Anyway, it's similar. It feels similar to that. Basically, you can be either in tanks on the ground, or you can be in planes in the air, and essentially it's a free to play multiplayer game. Really, I've only started playing it because it's getting a VR update in like a week or two. So I thought I'd hit the ground running, and I thought I'd start playing it now. It's okay actually for it's just there aren't many free to play games on PS4, but it's alright. It's quite fun. I just wanted to play one game really, but I ended up playing like 5 or 6 matches the other night actually, and you can obviously you get points. It's the same old thing. You level up, you get points. You can put them into. You can research technologies to improve tanks or aircraft or whatever you're doing, but. Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised, and it looks quite like the VR functionality that they're putting in looks quite interesting. So, also playing a bit of War Thunder.
Hey, Matt, did you just say this is the kind of game that you think I would play?
Yeah, I just
Why?
imagined. I just imagined you in like a shed with like pictures of Spitfire on the walls, playing this with like one of those like old style goggles and like some wire in a scarf to look and make like the wind's blowing. And talk about the good old days.
I'm totally baffled by
this.
You
are well judgmental with your gaming opinions, Matt. You know that.
I just want.
I've got a feeling that you'll like this game, but not this game, David. How do you know? You don't fucking know me.
Right, the whole thing about me saying you don't like games is like basically for years I've said, Dave, just try this game. You'll probably like it because your instant reaction is, "Oh, I won't like the game," or "That's shit," or "That sounds rubbish," right? But actually, for years I've been saying, actually, just try it. You'll probably love it, and then in the end, you do love it. So,
like what? Give me one example.
I can't think of an example right now. But
you can't, can you?
No, but
there's no example because it doesn't happen.
There's definitely been examples, David. Absolutely, over the years, I said try that, and you're like, you try it and think, oh yeah, those are the best, yeah.
With music, you've done that, but not with games. I don't remember a single game that you've raved about.
Games. I can't remember, but I've definitely done games.
Matt, if you're gonna put these accusations across, fucking back them up. Make sure you've got some evidence.
It's a memory. It's a poor one, but it's a memory.
Can we just be going down for life at this point?
I haven't killed him.
You know what I mean? You can't.
I mean,
okay, yeah. Right. Okay, so yeah.
Anyway, the other game I'm playing is the Swapper. Does anyone remember the Swapper? It came out basically, I think it's 2013 on the PC. A couple of years ago or so on the consoles. But Swapper, it's like co-developed by Curve Games and Facepalm Games. It's a 2D. I'm only like an hour and a half into it. It's basically like a 2D side-scrolling game where you play a man or woman in a spacesuit. You've been shot from a space station to this planet. I think the planet's been evacuated, and basically it's a side-scrolling puzzle game. Basically, the main mechanic of the game is you have a gun which can clone yourself. You can basically like hold down L1, I think it is, and a beam comes out ahead of you, and you can basically drop another clone of yourself, and you can drop up to 4 clones of yourself, and the clone replicates your movements on screen. So you can maybe look at a ledge above you, you can throw a clone up there, and that person will move left and right if you're also moving left and right. And basically, the puzzles I've experienced so far, there's a lot of sort of door switches where maybe there's a ledge above you, you can't get up there because you can't jump that high, so you would like shoot a clone up there, that clone would walk over the switch when you walk left and open a door for you down below. As well as that clone tool is also a tool where you can basically take the place of your clone, so you can like swap with that clone. And there's already been some really, really clever puzzles where basically I'm trying to get through a door, I clone someone else, that person goes through a door and opens a switch and opens something else down below for me to go through. You can have up to 4 clones, I'll say, at any one time, but as soon as you walk into one of those clones, they disappear. There's also other puzzle elements, like you can't clone in red light, you can't swap in blue light, so there's loads of elements where you're trying to get around those, but make sure you can get another person in and around the puzzle to open a door or do else. I've got one question actually. Is Braid like that? I never played Braid, but is Braid, does that have like cloning?
There's like one section like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not exactly like that, but there is one section a bit like that.
Because there's one... so there's the world, basically it's when you rewind time, there's then like a ghost version of you then repeats what you did before you rewound it, and it's all about cooperating with the sort of the previous timeline version of you. One particular puzzle that really reminds me of the Swapper is where basically there's a puzzle where you essentially kill yourself and then rewind, and then you just sort of allow your ghost to go ahead and kill himself and then die, and that's how you finish a puzzle. And basically that's like the Swapper has a lot of that, doesn't it? Like when you get further in, there's just so many situations where you're like, cool, I'm going to clone myself, and then the clone's going to carry on, and then the guy I've been playing as is just going to, I don't know, stay behind that door and starve to death, I guess.
Yeah, I've also had really, really great puzzles where you can hold L2 to go slow mo, so you can I basically fallen off a ledge or jumped off a ledge. I've shot a clone out, and I had to like get in away from like the blue or the red light, so I can make sure I could shoot a clone out. And then whilst holding L2 to go slow mo, I then jumped to that clone whilst my original guy who fell off the cliff just fell to his death, and I was then in the clone and landed elsewhere. Yeah. So I'm only like an hour and a half or so into it, but already there's some quite clever uses of these two tools. Did you finish it, Sean?
No, I only got in about as far as you did, to be honest. I need to go back to it. Because this was on PS Plus, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's on PS Plus a while ago, actually, because I remember when it came out on PC, I think Idle Farms and stuff were raving about it. And the story is quite interesting. So you get shot from the space station to this evacuation site, and there's lots of dialogue. You hear like speech and people talking over the radio. And I guess I'm trying to work out a story now. There's also these like huge sort of rocks where you sort of pass them, and there's some text that appears on screen. So there's something mysterious happening with with whatever these guys are evacuating, or they're excavating. Sorry, on this planet. There's lots of other little text with like security terminals and other puzzles where you've got to try and get orbs and to open up teleports to get you back to the space station. So so I'm really early on, but already it's really, really interesting.
With these sort of gimmicky, and I use that in a very poor sense, I'm not literally saying it's a gimmick, but with these sort of gimmicky side-scrolling puzzle games like this, I always worry because there's two ways they can go. They can start off with a simple idea, right? And then not so much drag it out, but build on top of that initial idea. And they build on top and on top and on top and on top. And they're the ones that I never stick with because they always go a little bit too far. And I'm kind of thinking, I know what to do, but the effort to go through to do it is always a bit of a pain in the arse, right? The best way to do it, and I think this is why Braid really did feel good, was that it sort of brought an idea on, like it presented an idea or a game mechanic, and then it built on it slightly, and then it dropped it for a new one of, it was a similar feel, but it was a completely different idea, and then built on that slightly, and then dropped to the next one. And I think if I remember correctly, you needed to combine everything together towards the end for the final bit, or am I totally misremembering that?
Yeah, you're misremembering. Oh no, there was a puzzle at the end that had elements of the different worlds,
worlds and stuff like that. Yeah, and I when I get into these games, like for example, what's the what's the one with the cotton and you're running along and is it Untangled or something?
Oh,
the EA one.
Was it? Jesus, oh my God, how's it called?
Just like the most simple name for it. That people are going to get really wound up. But that one, that had the problem of building too much on one idea rather than dropping it and picking up something else. And then you look at games like Unfinished Swan, which was excellent at building on an idea slightly and then dropping it. I think that's where those games sort of either stick with me or I stop playing. Whether I feel like I'm doing new things every now and then.
That game's called Unravel, by the way. Before
Unravel,
the tweets coming. Yeah, I mean, so I'm fairly early on, but and already there's been 3 or 4 like quite clever uses of these two tools, the clone and the swap tool. So I think this one may. I mean, I'm really early on, but I think it may stick with the same mechanic, but just surprise you in the things you need to do with the mechanics. So as opposed to some of the best games, like the best Mario games or whatever, where it gives you an idea or something to do, and it quickly takes you on to something else, and it always keeps you interested and excited about what can happen next. I get the impression that this may well stick with the core mechanics, but show you new, interesting, and clever ways to use those. I mean,
if you get the chance, Matt, try Max Curse of the Brotherhood on Xbox One.
I think I downloaded that when it was free. So
yeah, give that a bash if you get a chance, because that is an incredibly underrated game.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting feelings of Inside in this game. I mean, it's quite a dark sort of boding tone. There's definitely a lot of mystery. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a lot of similar vibes to Inside. I mean, it may not be as good as Inside was in the end, but it looks really good. There's really great sort of lighting and dust particles, and you can feel there's sort of like wetness and moisture on these rocks and the caves that you pass through. So and the shadows and lighting is really good. So yeah, I'm definitely keep playing. I'm quite interested in it, actually.
Cool. Going back to Braid, Sean, have you seen the follow-up to Indie Game the Movie yet?
I haven't, no.
In whatever.
Is there an official sequel?
Well, it's not really. They just sort of go back to some of the people they spoke to. There's an excellent conversation with Phil Fish about his life after Indie Game the Movie. And then there's a few really good interviews with some new people and looking back at the Super Meat Boy guys, and how that changed their life, which is really cool. There's there is. I don't think Jonathan Blow's in it. I think I've got about 20 minutes left, and he's not been in it. But there's an amazing interview with the artist behind Braid, and
David Tellman.
Yeah, and they were talking about this. I assume that's his name. I don't know. They were talking about the screen. You know where the books are on the sort of podiums, and you go up and read a little bit more of the story.
Yeah.
It was just watch that interview because it's really funny. It does not. If you really look into it, it does not work well for Jonathan Blow because he said that, like, basically Jay Blow said, "Oh, I want clouds. I want this to be in the clouds," and the artist was like, no, that's a bit cliche, and how about we try this and we try that, and I would send them over and he'd send them back with little iterations, and he'll go, oh no, we haven't quite got it, so we ended up with clouds. It probably was not like that at all, but that's how it sounded.
Yeah, it sounds like him sort of politely trying to say he's mental.
Off, put the clouds back in. Yeah. There was one bit where he goes, and the final iteration, it was sort of buildings made of clouds, and you could see that they were forming sort of structures, and then we kind of got rid of that, and we ended up with just clouds. Honestly, just watch out for that bit when you watch it. It's on Netflix. It's
okay, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Obviously, it's nowhere near as good as the first one because it is mainly just interviews as opposed to action actually happening.
Yeah.
But it's still worth a watch. It's a couple of hours long.
Wait, what's it called?
Sort of Life After Indie Game the Movie or something like that.
So, but if I search Indie Game the Movie, it will probably
it'll come up. The sequel will definitely come up.
I've also one other thing that wasn't in my list. I've also played. It's not really about the game; it's more how I'm playing it. But I played this rally game demo on PS4. That's actually the only racing game demo that's available on PS4, which is mind-boggling. But I played it.
There's no Drive Club demo on it.
Well, I rather embarrassing, I may not purchase that when it was free. I was following that game for ages, and then when it actually came to eventually coming out, I must have just not been hoovering up all the PlayStation games at that point. So do not have Drive Club. But the reason I went to play racing games is because I bought a steering wheel for my PlayStation 4.
Nice.
Yeah. Why have you done that?
Well, there was an outrageous bargain. Also, I was thinking like Drive Club VR, it'll be more immersive, etc. I've gone full VR, guys. Nothing can stop me now.
I was thinking, I saw someone using the steering wheel with Drive Club, and I was kind of like, holy shit, actually that would be the ultimate, right? Because you're actually going to have the steering wheel and stuff. Does it come with pedals, Matt?
It does.
You got pedals.
Yeah. It's a force feedback wheel. Basically, this wheel it's a shitty name, but it's the Thrustmaster T150. I mean, why would you call it that?
In college.
Why would you call it that? Anyway, yeah,
well,
basically,
Thrustmaster have been around for years, haven't they? I think it's a throwback to when like sticks were for flight sims and nothing else.
Yeah.
But Thrustmaster sounds like a really unfortunate nickname, doesn't it?
Yeah, this thing is like 150 quid brand new, but Curry's PC World were basically selling it at a discount for £30. They were 50 quid in September, and I thought, okay, I missed the boat there. Didn't have any near me, and then someone on Hot UK Deals on Saturday, so I just picked one up for 30 quid, and I managed to find one in Barnsley. So yeah, 30 quid is like an outrageous bargain, so I couldn't say no to that. Yeah, it's force feedback, it's got pedals, should make Drive Club VR a little bit more immersive, so cool. Looking forward to that now. Speaking of VR, just briefly, the embargo for hardware and games ends on Wednesday, so if you're listening to this on the day this podcast comes out, which is the 5th of October, yeah, no doubt you've already seen the reviews, and you've probably already tweeted me my crushing disappointment when this thing turns out to be a massive pile of shit. But
I've heard a lot of people have got hold of these headsets.
Yeah, they have.
Within the journalist industry, they're more readily available than I thought they would be, which is a good sign for stock, I guess.
Yeah, all the journalists got them last week, and they're all sharing their pictures. Yeah, the embargo for I think there's actually an unboxing embargo, which I think ends on Saturday because everyone's posting unboxing videos on the weekend. But yeah, the actual hardware and games embargo is Wednesday. So yeah, quite looking forward to seeing that.
Cool. James, your turn. Let's see what you've been playing.
Well, see, I've been playing PES and also FIFA. I've played like both of these because
didn't know you had FIFA as well.
Well,
so have I, right? And we've spoken about both at length, so we'll try and keep it a little light.
But
I've been playing a lot of FIFA, and hopefully my review should be up by now. But okay, James, you tell me what you think.
Well, yeah, you see, I mean, I got PES because Matt was kind enough to get me one of those ones in the Tesco, the Tesco deal, and I do really like PES. Actually, I like the sort of the randomness of it, as in it feels a lot less scripted than FIFA does. That's the main thing I really like about it. But
yeah,
the problem is for me,
there's no problem.
Well, no, the problem is yeah. Okay.
Anyway, go on. Talk.
The problem is it doesn't have the game modes that I want, actually. Like, this is what you said a couple of weeks ago when I said I was going to get FIFA, and you were like, yeah, it's probably better for you. And you were kind of right, actually, because, you see, the thing is I love football. I love playing FIFA and playing football games. And every year, I get one of those, and I spend a huge amount of time playing them. But I spend most of the time playing the career mode, and I don't play online hardly at all. The thing that I really like doing is like taking a rubbish team from Division 2 to the Premier League, and then getting like management offers from international teams, and like changing clubs when I feel like I've done all I can at a specific club and stuff like that. And FIFA does that really well. It's really good at that. And I tried the Master League mode in PES, and it's just not the same. It doesn't have anywhere near the same amount of depth. So that's how I ended up getting FIFA again as well, which I think I'll probably just end up playing in single player, because I know I just really like the career mode and everything. It's good, and also the live match stuff that they do from FIFA. Like where they do like the actual games that are like taking part like that weekend, and you can like play them before. That stuff's kind of good.
It is, and I mean there is no doubt, and it can't be overlooked, the fact that those game modes and if they're not in PES, then certain people aren't going to pick up PES, right? They play it for FIFA Ultimate Team. They play it for online seasons, co-op, or the Premier League season, stuff like that. PES will never have that. It will never have that amount of. I mean, it is utterly incredible, that package, FIFA package. I mean, it's so big. There's so many game modes, and it's. Each game mode feels like rock solid, right? So you've got all of the online stuff working without any bullshit. You've got all of the club teams, and all of the seasons are laid out correctly. All of that stuff is authentic, and it's brilliant. The problem is just it. This year, for me, the game plays so poorly compared to PES that it's completely night and day. And although I could be sitting there playing online seasons, which is my favourite, game mode in FIFA, when I'm actually playing a game, I'm kind of thinking, why am I not playing PES? Because when I'm in the game, I have 10 times more fun playing PES 2017 over FIFA 17. Mm-hmm. I have 10 times less frustration playing it. If I have an idea in my head of what I want to do in a pitch, I can do it unless I make a mistake in Pro Evolution Soccer. In FIFA, I can't. It constantly seems like FIFA is just so predictable, which is not what football is. There'll be moments where, like, for example, okay, if one of the opposing team's defenders gives the ball to you by accident and you've got a clear run on goal, you know that 99% of the times that happens, you won't score. Because it just won't let you. Like, you'll have a shot and it will just fly wide for no reason, or it'll be a weak shot, or the goalkeeper will pull off like an impossible save. It's just so frustrating because you just kind of think, this just feels fake to me now.
Yeah.
I don't have faith in the FIFA system. And the biggest disappointment of FIFA this year is that they had a chance to change it and they bottled it. And I understand why they bottled it, because, they've got this huge fan base that they've got to cater for. But at the same time, when you're switching engines, it's got to feel like it's a new engine. It's got to feel important, and it just doesn't feel that way. It just feels like FIFA 16, but a little bit better.
I totally agree with that, because I mean it's running on like the Frostbite engine, and so that was supposed to be. I mean, visually maybe it does look a bit better, I think, than last year, but not like, I wouldn't say like massively noticeably better than like before.
No,
but
I think PES looks better. I genuinely think PES looks better.
I don't know, it depends. I mean, for character models, I'd agree with you. Like, they definitely look a lot better. Stadiums and stuff look terrible in PES. Like, they really don't look good.
You're absolutely right. And I said that it's EA managed to create the circus around the pitch.
Yeah,
perfectly.
Absolutely.
I mean, the crowd, the people on the touchlines, the stewards, the players warming up, all that stuff is fantastic. And yeah, it pisses on Pez for that stuff, but on the pitch, not so much.
I know, because I mean, the thing is, like on the pitch, FIFA does still feel like a bit stilted. Like the way it plays, and you're right. It does often feel like they've got like a narrative going of like they don't want you to score or whatever. But no, I mean, like I said, that's one of the reasons I like PES, because I did like the sort of the randomness feeling of it. But just for single player, for like the way I like to play, I still like FIFA. I still like playing like career mode and stuff like that. It's.
I've got one other question actually. Sean, do you just drink Fentimans or do you like other soft drinks? What other stuff should I? Are you cool orange juice or tea, coffee? What were you?
I mean, it depends. I mean, I'm a bit of a snob. Tea's all right. Earl Grey will do.
Have you got a coffee machine, Matt?
No, I've got a kettle. If that's what you mean.
No, that's not a coffee machine, is it?
Okay, right, yeah. Okay, so Sean, Fentimans, obviously that's cool. Okay, right, thanks, mate.
Oh, sure, I don't mind getting some in. That'd be wicked.
Of course. Sorry, Farley. Go on.
Matt, can you buy a coffee machine while you're at it?
Buy one of those Nespresso machines.
No, I'm talking about one of the actual ones they've got in Costa or whatever.
Yes, I'll rent one for the fucking weekend.
Did you? Is there a coffee place near you though?
No. It's like a little like village.
I've got a proper espresso machine. I could bring it, but I think my wife might kill me.
Did you miss what James said then?
Yeah, sorry.
David, it's Leeds. Oh, sorry.
Fucking
Have they got a gravy shop near you?
It's just ferrets.
Oh, get a nice cup of gravy, you bastard. Yeah, what we saying, James? Yeah, so FIFA, you're an idiot, right? That's sum that one
but
up.
But there's also like
Play
other
PES.
stuff that's wrong with PES as well, like that you've got to admit is bad about it. I mean,
Like
the gameplay obviously is brilliant. It's really really good, but the stuff like off the field is awful. Like, okay, the music's terrible. The menus are awful.
Right, awful.
The menus, they make it look really cheap and like not that good. Commentary is really appalling. I mean, I was kind of shocked because I thought by now that would have improved a bit, but
I think it's actually getting worse, isn't it? It feels like it's getting worse.
Yeah, I think it might be. I think it might be getting worse.
Ew.
More of the same, please.
Like I said, I do concede though. Like PES does play better. It's I hate what they've done with penalties in FIFA as well. I really hate that.
Penalties! Those new corner kicks are fucking atrocious as well. Putting that little crosshair in and stuff.
It's really
weird.
weird.
Awful.
Have you tried to take any penalties yet? Because I haven't scored one yet.
Yeah, with a big arrow thing.
Yeah, it was fine before. I don't know why they changed it.
Nor do I. I think this is them going, look at what we've done this year. You go, yeah, well done, but it's shit. Like, the old system was better. What you want to do is stop making people, like, stumble over each other and, pass to the completely wrong person you want them to pass to, and so on. Anyway,
did you see that other really weird glitch that I shared? Where I scored a goal at the end and then at the end of the game, the player who'd scored, like, walked off the field like a crab. It was like...
Yeah, that was amazing.
It looked really weird.
Someone tweeted this today. I didn't catch who it was, but they said the best thing about FIFA being released is the amount of GIFs that come out soon after launch of like bits that go wrong. There's an amazing one at the moment where a goalkeeper is kneeling down with his arse on Zlatan Ibrahimovic's face, and looks like he's just sniffing it. And because he's just scored a goal, he gets up and starts celebrating like straight afterwards.
Yeah,
It's
I've seen videos
hilarious.
of. I'm sure John Denton like tweeted or sent. I think he might tweet a video of. It was like a 60-second video of all the things that have gone wrong, and I was absolutely dying of laughter. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's
Good
good.
old broken FIFA.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's football done for another year. We'll see you for PES 2018.
Well, maybe
FIFA,
not after the sales.
2018.
So
Well, yeah. God, the sales really have been bad this year for PES.
So FIFA sold 40 times the amount that PES has. Is that what you're saying?
Jesus.
Yeah. People are idiots.
That's so sad. Like,
It's
Konami
like-
are just not going to bother on it next year.
I know Konami already don't care about video games anyway, so this is an indication.
Yeah, but this is
to
one
care
of the
even
two
less.
franchises they were actually keeping. Like, is this a Metal Gear? If this is a joke,
All it means, right, is even if they do keep PES going, they're not going to add the game modes that's needed. I genuinely think someone like Activision should step in and fucking ram money into it. Like, just buy PES off of Konami and just stick a bunch of cash into it, get it back up to where it should be. At this point,
that would be brilliant.
It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. I mean, imagine living in a world where there's literally just one football game coming out a year.
It would be awful.
Fuck that. Yeah, because fucking FIFA won't even bother anymore. But yeah, okay, and maybe your opinions will change once we're deep into this PES league we've got set up, James. Few people have got together. We've got a private PES league going, and it's getting serious. First game of the season was this weekend, 2-2 with John Denton. That was tense. I was saying to him last night, this league's either going to make us or break us, because we'll either come out of it thinking that was really good or come out of it absolutely despising each other. So stay tuned. What else have you been playing, James?
Okay, so the other thing I've been playing is I played the Telltale Batman game that's been out. I think this is like there's 2 episodes of it now. And to be honest, I had very low expectations going into this, because after The Walking Dead Michonne, which was awful. And I mean, the thing is I can't really say much about it, because it's like a whole like narrative game. If anyone wants to like play it, I don't want to ruin anything. I mean, basically the first episode is pretty average, but they do have a very interesting like sort of like detective process thing where you're supposed to try and like piece things together to like work stuff out, which kind of works really well for like a Telltale game. And the other thing they do is they do this thing where the combat is quite interesting, because you can like plan how it's gonna take place by like linking objects together. So you have like, you know, link Batman plus a vase and someone's head, and then it will like do it, and then which is kind of cool. It's kind of good. And the second episode I think is much better than the first, and the story is quite good actually. And I think technically it's probably the best Telltale game I've played. Like,
I was going to ask you how it was technically, because obviously the Walking Dead game's an absolute joke.
Yeah, and Game of Thrones
is the same
wasn't that
engine,
great either.
Do we know?
I don't know, but it seems to be, it worked absolutely fine. I didn't have any problems. I mean, I had the usual sort of like when it first started, sort of stuttering a bit, but then after a while it was fine. I mean, the only thing is I'm just a bit bored of that whole like exploring Batman's past thing that every single Batman story seems to do these days. I just wish it was something else. You know, they could do something else with it. But
your parents dead, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's new news.
It's like, let's do a flashback.
Jesus, Batman.
It's like, you know, let's do a flashback to him, like, you know, having his parents killed in front of him. It's like, it would be more novel if they did one that didn't do that, because it happens all the time.
Well, because Joker in it yet?
No.
He's not?
No.
Do you think he will be in it?
I don't know. I mean, at the moment, they got the Penguin, and he's like the main, well, one of the main kind of characters. But, I mean, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm looking forward to part 3. I mean, the only other game I've played a lot of this week is Paper Mario Color Splash, but I'm not done with that yet, and I want to talk about it next week when the embargo's up, because it's. But my early impressions are it's extremely positive. It's very good.
Cool. One other thing, Sean, do you prefer down pillows or memory foam?
Oh, down, please.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, James, I'm quite interested to see which, like, the reason why I asked about the Joker or whatever is which version they're going to go for. Like, what sort of period Batman does it feel like from what you played so far? Is it, you know, is it trying to be Heath Ledger style stuff, or is it trying to be the wacky cartoons?
Not really. I mean,
whoa. Batman the Animated Series is not wacky. Dark as fuck, mate.
Okay, whatever.
Apart from the bit where he defeats Mr. Freeze by throwing chicken soup on him.
I mean, one of the other problems with it, sorry.
Sounds well dark. Yeah, go on.
One of the other problems with it, well, not problems, but like the character.
You're not even answering my question.
Yeah.
No, just ignore that.
Fucking hell.
It wasn't a very good question, Dave. But anyway, it's one of the...
I'm trying my best, mate.
Yeah. One of the other things that's kind of weird about
James has a problem. James has a problem of not having the confidence to speak over anyone. You need to get that sorted.
I don't like doing it. I don't like doing it because it just feels really weird. It's, you know, it's just,
you just put the handbrakes on like a motherfucker whenever someone's talking over you.
It's because it's really annoying. You must have heard other podcasts where people do that all the time, and it's just really irritating.
Also, I might put together a compilation of noises James makes after he's stopped because someone's talking over him, because it usually goes like this. You usually go, huh?
Anyway, Batman in this looks like Archer from the TV series Archer, which is
nice.
also a bit off-putting. Yeah.
Who voices him? Is it?
Weird.
Have they got Kevin Conroy in, or is it someone else?
No idea. I've no idea.
Okay.
It's good.
Also,
worth
doesn't this game focus much more on Bruce Wayne than Batman?
Yes, also that.
Okay, that's cool.
So how much of it, like percentage-wise, is Bruce Wayne?
70%, I'd say.
Oh wow, okay. So
Yeah.
what are you doing? Just being a businessman? Like, what does he even do?
Well, I can't say
Go
because
to
it'll ruin the
charity
plot, won't
events.
it? Is the
Oh
problem.
yeah, I guess. But
Making money, shagging birds. That's all he's up to. That's all he does.
He turns around and goes, "Oh no, the bat signal. What am I going to do now?" And then it fades to black, and then it comes back to him in his like a front room, just getting changed back into his suit.
yeah, is it like press X to buy low, press circle to sell high? Like, what sort of shit are you doing?
Actually, an Archer Telltale game. That wouldn't be
Yeah,
a bad shout.
that would be brilliant. Actually, in fact, why has no one done that? That'd be amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, like obviously they would have to get the actual, Archer writers involved, but they've already shown they can do funny games because Borderlands, whatever they called it, I was going to say the pre-sequel, that was an actual Borderlands game, but no, the Telltale's Borderlands series was actually wicked and very funny.
Yeah, Archer would definitely work as a Telltale game. It would be amazing with all the dialogue choices and stuff. It'd be great.
You could say all sorts of fun.
I was going to say, it'd be one of the few
Archer.
Telltale games where you've just definitely got a license to be a dick, and that's just the point.
True. Oh, unless you're James's plan, because he just takes that opportunity to be a dick no matter what the subjects matter.
Yep.
Hey, go on, Kenny, kill your son. Kill your son.
Don't get into that again. That was there was really good reasons for that. It's
In the in the FIFA single player mode, is that going to allow you to make tough decisions and like be a dick, or is it really rather simple choices?
What are you talking? Oh, are you genuinely asking? Yeah. You can totally be a dick. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah. They call it fiery, or cool, or balanced. But you could totally be a dick. You can just say arsehole things to your mate every time you can. I want to do a dickhead Alex Hunter motor, like those YouTube videos of what's his face, Shepard from Mass Effect being a dick to everyone. I want to do the Alex Hunter equivalent. Although he's never pure dick, because I think they still want you to like him on some level.
So you can't be on a training ground and drop a 2-foot tackle and you can't.
No, see, because that's the stuff with the journey. It's kind of like the training mode is literally just those training exercises you get just before you kick off a normal game of FIFA. And then the matches are just matches, and they're stitched together with cutscenes, but don't really matter. I said, if it's an experiment, it totally succeeded the moment I didn't pass to my mate because he was a bit of a dick before kickoff. You know what I mean? Like that's done everything it needs to do at that point. So well done. Okay, Sean, what you got?
I was going to say, I've just checked. Batman's voiced by Troy Baker, so he will sound like all the other white men in games. I've been playing, because the other week I played the demo of the new Rhythm Paradise for the 3DS.
You did. I remember you talking about that specifically.
Yeah, and that reminded me that I've got the one for the Wii, Beat the Beat Rhythm Paradise, and I never finished it. So I put that back in the Wii U, and then I realised I've moved house and I didn't bother setting up the sensor bar, so that was a good 20 minutes rooting through fucking cardboard boxes. Because you can't even if the game you're playing doesn't use it, you can't get into Wii mode without pointing the remote at the screen and selecting a thing. So you have to have the sensor.
Shit.
I nearly set up. You can do the tea light trick. You ever done this?
No, you've got to tell me this.
So the Wii sensor bar is a misnomer, really, because it doesn't sense anything. It's just two fucking LEDs in a bit of plastic, right?
Yeah.
Which the front of the Wiimote then sees, and then it knows where your TV is. Basically, you can, if you just light like two little candles or two tea lights and put them in front of the telly, it's the same effect.
Wow.
There came a point where that seemed easier than actually finding the sensor bar. But yeah, I actually found the sensor bar, set that up. Yeah, fucking Beat the Beat Rhythm Paradise is fucking astonishingly good. I just, for a game that isn't, it's not a comedy, it's a rhythm game, I was just laughing and grinning throughout just the stupid shit it has you doing. It's just amazing. Yeah, just properly enjoying it. I think I got it for like £5. I think Argos were just shifting a load of copies. If for whatever reason you've got a Wii U and not a 3DS, I'm pretty sure that's not ever going to be the case. Like definitely Beat the Beat because it's just stupidly good. I've been playing more Destiny, obviously.
Before you move on, that period of gaming was quite nice, and I think it's kind of dead now. You know, where they had games that were just stupidly wacky like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you had that, you had the WarioWare games.
God, yeah, on the Wii, I was fucking crying when I first played that.
Unbelievable. With the dudes running along, stuff like that. It's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And Nobby Boy, I think, can be included in that, and Katamari Damacy and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There was a scene for that sort of thing, but like at full price on consoles, whereas now there's probably like indie stuff.
And also it's been replaced with, hey, look, the game doesn't work properly. That's funny, isn't it? Like the Goat Simulator or whatever.
Yeah, it's made for
Be
YouTube.
Bread. What is it called? I Am Bread or whatever. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? That's what's replaced it. Yeah. Sad time. Destiny.
Again, acknowledging that it's kind of shit compared to Taken King, but still enjoying it anyway, like a dick.
Yeah, so this is on my list as well. Matt, it's good to be back in the Destiny planet.
That's it, isn't it? It's like it's putting on your fucking favourite pair of trainers or whatever.
Yeah,
there's a comfort
it totally
to it.
Is.
It's weird.
Yeah, and it's incredible how quickly you get into the swing of things. And I tell you what, the biggest benefit of that Destiny had when it dropped the Taken King was this questline stuff. Because I remember taking a break from Destiny before, booting it back up, and then thinking, what am I supposed to do now? Like, what am I aiming for? Jesus. Now you literally just go to your quest log and go, okay, it's telling me to go do that. I'll go and do that for a bit. And then I found myself just getting lost again and just playing again. It's just brilliant. But I mean, how do you defend this? Like, how do you defend the content that's been introduced? The only thing that I can say that sort of defends it is, when they put out a list of what's in the content, that's a fraction of what's actually in the content.
Yeah.
They're the tick boxes. Okay, you've got 5 story missions, you've got a strike, you've got a few maps on the Crucible, and you got a raid, right? But then I'm listening to a podcast last week that's talking. A bunch of people had done the raid, and then they had noticed that there's these weird terminals everywhere, and then they worked out that there was something going on, something to do with binary, and they wrote the binary down, and they worked out this puzzle, and then they eventually moved on through this quest hidden inside the raid, and got like some exotic item that's meant to be really good, and that's what the Destiny stuff's about, and that's why it's impossible to explain to people, because it's like people are like, well, it's just 5 levels. Well, yeah, but it's not just that. It's all the other weird shit that it brings in as well that you just find yourself doing, and Destiny players will happily pay £25 for this because it's probably put another 50 or to 100 hours worth of gameplay into the game.
Yeah, even though the campaign in of itself, like you say, you can do it in like 2 hours or something.
I did about an hour and a half, I think.
But that's... I mean, it is kind of shit that Bungie have obviously just gone like, well, no one really... Like, the campaign isn't where the meat of it is for, quote-unquote, proper Destiny players. So who cares? But people do want that still. And it is nice to sort of... If you're going to spend, like say 100 hours just doing shit, getting better guns or whatever, would be cool to have like a substantial bit at the start that it sort of explains why you're doing it and makes you give a shit. But then Destiny's always, like the bits where it's actually tried to make you take the story seriously, have always fallen pretty flat. Like Taken King was good because it was just, didn't really matter what you were doing. It was just that the dialogue was quite witty and funny and it was fine.
It's weird that they've gone back on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That that the Taken King did. Like, Taken King lightened the mood a little bit, and it introduced a bunch of stuff. Like, the strikes in it were like mini raids. They weren't, but they, you know, they had a puzzle to them, especially like that emboss, that one with the shield. Like, that was a brilliant fight. Matt, get this. The strike in this, I can say this now, right?
Yeah, go for it.
I can say this. The strike in the new DLC is that first strike with the eyeball thing.
Oh, no, that's not. No, that's not it.
What?
So there's one new strike, and then there's two remixed ones. One of those is fucking Sepix.
Sepix
Well,
Prime.
Thank God I didn't write my review already then, because I just thought there was one strike. There's 3 strikes, 2 remix ones, and 1 new one. Oh right, fuck. Shit.
When
I was kicking off about this.
I mean, don't worry about it, because the actual proper new strike is fucking dog shit. So, it's really bad.
Good. Well, I need to do the new strike then.
You do. We'll do that this week.
Good. Fuck, Sean. I said to you at the weekend, I need to do the new strike. Can you run it with me? Yeah, sure. And then I said, where's the new strike? And you went, it's go to the first one and change the difficulty.
No, you were saying you needed to do Sepix Perfected. Because you had the quest for it. You didn't?
No, because I would never have said that word.
Yeah, you did. No, you said you need to do Sepix on hard mode.
Never said that.
You did. You were drunk. You fucking...
Was I drunk?
Yeah. Was that the night you were drunk? I can't remember. I think it might have been.
That's most nights, Sean.
You showed up in a party and then I forget who it was. It was like Rowan or someone said, a bit late, Dave. You're like, I've had a couple of drinks. What of it, mate?
I think I was joking.
Yeah, I know you were.
Although I can't remember, so maybe not. As we said last week, the problem with the new areas, the new social areas that they're bringing out, is because it's just another pain in the arse to get to.
Yeah.
If they were all connected to one another, I really hope they do that for Destiny 2, where as opposed to the social area becoming new places, that it's just one social area and it just expands the more that the game expands. You know, that would be great.
Yeah, because I think we all thought that there's so many locked doors in the tower. Like, surely just start opening those up and you can put whatever you want on the other side of them. So
yeah, it's totally weird what they've done.
Yeah.
It's really weird the direction they've gone with a lot of things. I cannot believe the speaker is just not a thing.
Yeah.
And as you pointed out to me the other day, we were playing for a little while and we were watching the cutscenes, and you said, "Have you noticed that they've just completely dropped giving the player character a voice?"
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, shit, when did that happen? Because he spoke in The Taken King, didn't he?
I don't know if he did in The Taken King, I think it was just year one.
Oh my god, how have I missed that? Crazy.
We haven't discussed all the Destiny 2 stuff, have we? Didn't that come out since the last podcast?
Oh, maybe. I mean, there's not a huge amount to say, is there, other than... So the guys, I forget the actual titles, but like the lead producer and someone else on The Taken King are apparently working on Destiny 2, which A, is good news, and B, explains maybe why Rise of Iron is a bit lackluster. And there also hints that it's going to be a fresh start and you're not going to be carrying your character over. I don't think I care.
I'm totally happy with that.
Yeah.
Totally fine with it.
Like, I mean, I can't carry my character over. Like, well, obviously, it's a new game, so whatever gear you've got is going to be horse shit at the start of Destiny 2, right? It has to be, because else what's the point? So what are you carrying over? Your fucking face texture.
Yeah, that's
Who cares?
Well, I guess they would be saying, well, there's all my subclasses and stuff like that. I'll lose all that stuff.
All that might
which
change.
I get, but I'd hope that they'd have completely new subclasses that we'd have to build up from scratch again anyway.
Exactly.
Like, Jesus Christ, imagine if they had the same fucking abilities and all that sort of shit again. It needs to be a fresh start. It seriously needs to be a fresh start.
Well, because I know, again, this is according to this mysterious supposed Bungie employee on Reddit who posted a load of shit, and he was saying basically the tools that they made Destiny with are fucked. in that it takes like something like 8 hours to load a map up to make a tiny change in it. And it was just like became really sort of unwieldy. So I would assume like a lot of the work that's gone into Destiny 2 is just working on the tools they're going to use to build it. And I think that'll be one of the reasons that they want this sort of clean slate. I mean, like some people have been kicking off saying, I thought, everyone said it's supposed to be this one platform that was running for 10 years. But I don't care.
Well, what if it's soul fuckle? They ain't going to keep running it for 10 years, are they?
No.
Just be grateful that they're starting to fix things, and they're obviously doing it for a good reason. It's still going to feel like Destiny, and that's what I care about.
Yeah.
I want that feeling of playing Destiny. Yeah. That's it.
I mean,
I don't care.
I get it in terms of, if you're comparing it to World of Warcraft or any other, MMO, then that is generally how they do it. Is the base game is this platform, and then it just branches off from there for 10 years or whatever. And people like that, I guess, but I don't know. I just don't mind.
The other big rumour, of course, is it's going to come out on PC. So will you ditch PS4 and go PC?
Probably not. Probably stay on the PS4 just for convenience's sake.
It's a better platform, isn't it?
So if it was, I don't know, like a brand new thing, that would make me want to try it much more than.
Well, you see, there you go. It gives you, if there's people who've not yet got on board, then actually doing a full proper sequel instead of just another expansion feels like a much more substantial jumping off point.
Apparently, James, if you buy the game, it just levels you straight up to 40 now.
Really?
Like if you buy the complete version, you could just start at 40
at the moment.
I don't know.
45 quid.
35 quid? Oh,
was it less than that? Okay.
I'm sure it's 35 quid, yeah.
I mean, it's worth pointing out that leveling you straight up to 40 isn't really... I don't know. It's there's so much other stuff to it that getting you straight to level 40 is not really... doesn't mean a huge amount.
But I could totally get him within a decent level pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah. It's interesting though, isn't it? There's that new pack that's got all the content in it, because it's kind of disingenuous that it's like, oh yeah, it's got the base game, it's got the Dark Below, it's got House of Wolves. So you're not touching half of that now because it's pointless.
I don't know. You'd still have all the dailies and the monthly stuff on there, right?
Yeah, I guess. But then the dailies never touch year one stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
I don't.
I don't know. I think they just sort of admit that it's not as good. Yeah, dailies are always year 2 stuff now. Sorry, to explain to anyone who doesn't play a lot of Destiny, every day it'll pick a random story mission that you can do at a harder difficulty than it was originally and get rewards and stuff. Yeah, they tend to just pick year 2 stuff now, I think.
Oh, I did not know that.
I mean, the only year 1 thing I still do is Prison of Elders, and even that's like a newer version of that they introduced in year 2. So,
yeah, I need to get into that stuff again.
Yeah,
I need to get into that stuff. But I had that horrible feeling that we used to have with certain people, Matt, where I would say, "Oh, Sean, do you want to play a little bit Destiny?" And hearing the sort of groan in his voice because I'm, 20 light levels below him at the moment. He's just thinking, see, I can play Destiny with you, but it's gonna be a waste of my time. Well, what I'm saying, Sean, is I get it. I understand. But I've got to play with someone in it. That game is no fun on your own.
No, it's fine. I mean, so you need to do that strike the other day, but that is rewarding for both of us. It does a thing now where basically doing your strikes or whatever gets you new items that are just usually a little bit better than whatever you currently are. So it's still worth doing.
Okay, well, you got no excuse then.
No.
Next time you ignore my invite.
I mean, I just don't like you. That's all I've got.
Fair. Just say that then. Stop being a fucking little wuss. What else you been playing?
I've dug out my old Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Micro, the tiny little one.
Oh shit!
That is
always wanted one, never owned one. That.
Yeah, well, it's got. I don't know if Spong will appreciate me discussing this openly. It's got a flashcard on it, and it's got every
utter scum.
Every good GBA game on it. For some reason, I think it's because about a month ago I was chatting about pinball games. Decided to have a go on Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. It's well good. It's properly made for fucking idiots who are no good at pinball because it is so slow. It's ridiculous, and that's like as I was playing, I was like, man, this is ridiculous. Like the ball's just floating around. And then I went to start a new game, and it's like, oh no, there's an option for like the ball speed. I had it on normal. Maybe there's a fast option. No, there's normal and slow. I was on normal. So, but yeah, it's a decent little pinball game. And again, there's all like stupid mini games where it like transports you to different areas, and you got to hit Pokemon with fucking balls, and there's like you have to sort of hit certain things to like capture new Pokemon and then like evolve them, and it's good fun, and I'm enjoying it. And it's just really nice like having that Game Boy Micro again, because there's just so many good games like that. Just lives next to the toilet now. Basically, that's what that is for.
That's the new witty little books that you used to get at Christmas.
Oh, a QI book next to it. No, mate. Game Boy Micro with a fucking flashcard. Sort your life out.
Ooh, famous poos in the ages. Sean, was Sonic Pinball?
I never played it.
Sonic
Spinball.
Yeah.
Sonic Spinball. Is that looked down on as a bad game or not?
I have no idea. I've never heard anyone talking fondly of it. So
I remember playing it and it being crap.
Yeah.
I remember absolutely adoring it as a kid, but I don't know if that was because you got one game a year, so you better fucking like it, or it was genuinely quite good. I should go back and play it sometime.
I don't remember hating it. I remember being quite a big thing when it came out, but
you were a huge
kids.
Sonic fan as well.
Yeah, Sega all the way.
Yeah, he's got attitude in a pinball machine.
Yeah, God,
I just remember it being like really
attitude.
jerky and slow. It was like, it wasn't that good.
It's a bit like you, James. The only game that I've played this week that hasn't been mentioned already is was so furious with the fact that we didn't get code for Forza Horizon 3 that I went back and played Forza Horizon 2.
I did wonder what
you showed them,
that.
Dave. You showed them. Oh,
they're absolutely gutted now.
I won't mess with you again.
Harry caught an eye of it. I thought of it, and then that was it. We've been playing that for several hours, pretty much every morning, just to keep him quiet for 5 minutes. And my word, that game holds up. But I've done everything in Forza Horizon 2. I've done all the races. I completed their campaign. There was nothing else to do, really. And you can't take it online because Harry could just do something. Like, you could just go, right, done with this now, bye. And then all of a sudden you're in the middle of a game and you're kind of like... So, I was driving along one of the roads and it pinged up, you have driven down 257 of 320 roads. So that's what I did for 2 hours. I drove down every single road in the game.
Jesus.
And got 10 gamer score points for it. And then, 10? Sean, I remembered... I know, I thought that was well bad. Every single road in the game I've driven down. And it just gives me that. Then, Sean, I remembered that I had the Fast and Furious DLC that I hadn't even touched yet. So what a waste of time. So I played that for a little bit, which was a bit shit, but it doesn't matter, does it?
It's better than driving down all the roads, yeah. Does it tells you which roads you've driven down? You don't have to just...
Yeah, if you go to the map, they're white if you've driven down them, and then you can see the gaps where you haven't driven down. You just set waypoints and stuff like that. I mean, it's totally pointless, but for some reason, I'll be honest with you, the feeling of when I had like 319 and I just had one more to go, and I'd set the waypoint and it was like 5-6 kilometers away. As I was driving to that last bit, pretty fucking excited. I was pretty
feel like
fucking
coming
buzzing.
home from a war or something. Like, okay.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, I've done it now. I've done it. Brilliant. It's like when you look on your sat nav, you've had a 4-hour drive and there's like 10 minutes left, and you're like, yes, that's all done now.
The longest 10 minutes of the journey, though. excruciating.
Yeah, it's
Usually because if I've been driving for 4 hours, it means because I've been driving to fucking London.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Yeah, so I mean, I'm totally pumped for. I'm going to get 4 now. I've traded out Overwatch. That's gone. And I just need to wait for Forza Horizon 4 to pop into my local CEX.
You've been waiting a fair long time.
Free.
Just wait 2 years.
Should we get on to questions?
Yeah, better.
Please.
Good. What
Okay.
we got? James.
We've actually got some emails, so if you want to email us, it's thecomputergameshow@gmail.com. And the first one's from Capone Adam. It's a bit interesting. So it says here, the cover image for your
Don't
incredible...
comment on them before we've heard them. It makes no difference. Like,
No, because I was in two minds as to whether to include it or not, but I'm going to. So it says, the cover image for your incredible podcast shows 4 lines, each a different colour. In the very first episode, you alluded to each line representing one of your 4 presenters. I've been thinking about this for some time and wondered if you had this discussion yet. But what would happen to this image if someone left, or God forbid, someone died? I feel that if someone leaves the show, one of the lines should vanish. If that person is then replaced as a permanent fixture, then a new line would come back as a new colour entirely. After the first person passes away, their line should remain black.
he's thought about this way too much, hasn't he?
This is why I was in two minds. After the first person passes away, their line should remain but become black. If someone were to come in and fill their gap, there would be 5 lines of colour, including the now black line. Clearly this was in the thought of the designer, as the background is thankfully a dark grey, and so the black line will be visible. Just wondered if you have ever thought about this.
Oh, the real Capone's back.
We haven't, but...
It's a good idea, though.
That's a brilliant idea.
Right, okay. If I die, the show stops, right?
Well, no.
I think if Sean dies, the show goes on. I think if James dies, the show definitely goes on. If Matt dies, that's a tough one for me. Does it go on without Matt?
Yes.
He's got the drive. Actually, does it go on without Sean?
Doesn't go on without any of us. If someone dies, then this show's
James
over.
dies, it carries on.
Oh yeah, apart from James. Yeah, apart from James.
It's great to be back. But yeah.
It was really good last week.
Oh yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah, no,
I
think
being
we
described as the whipping boy by Sean. That was nice.
Yeah, we haven't actually discussed what colours we are. Someone sent in a whole email with suggestions of each colour we are. Capone, go back and listen to that show. Next question.
Okay, if you were as rich as Palmer Luckey, what message would you try to enforce on the world using meme magic? That's from SMW.
What message would I try and enforce on the world? That if you, just to point out to people that if you hold, like, if you feel underneath, you know those crossings, public, like road crossings or whatever, where you press the button and wait for the green man.
Yeah.
If you feel underneath where you press the button, sometimes there's a little spinny thing.
It's a good time, that.
There you go. Try that. Try that when you're out and about. Press the little button, feel underneath, little spinny thing. I'd heard rumours that people were tying razors to them at one point.
What?
You cunts, Sean, and that's what people do. They're wankers.
You're fucking kidding me.
But yeah,
like those things are literally there for blind and deaf people.
Yeah,
and people, fuck, Jesus Christ, Jesus fucking Christ.
That. I mean, I've never seen it, but that's what I've been told.
Okay,
it might be a false thing.
The message.
But yeah,
the message I would try and
tell people about that.
Be don't try and slash up people with severe disabilities.
There you go. That's a good. Maybe if we both get this chance.
I feel like that's something that most people can get behind, but you know.
Maybe not James. James, what would you try and enforce?
Outrageous. It's also not fair.
Everyone to call you Doctor. Dr. Farlow.
Definitely that, David. Yeah.
What then?
I don't know. I didn't really think about
Brilliant.
it.
Matt. See what I mean by about you dying and it not mattering? Matt.
Probably, my name's only got 1 T, not 2 T's. That'd be great. You know, people still email me now with saying hi, Matt, with 2 T's. Like, you know, do you think I've spelled my name wrong? Is that what
you're just misspelling
happened?
his own name? What a fucking idiot. No, I was thinking this when you were talking about doing the hashtags for the PSVR thing. I was like, oh, is people going to do it with 2 T's and we're only going to get like a third of the results?
Exactly. I would have accounted for those as well, Sean. Don't worry.
Okay.
Please do it with 2 T's. Okay, have you got one yet, James?
No, let's move on.
Excellent. Next question.
Okay, so
Fucking hell.
we got loving the podcast at the moment, especially the
Cheers, mate.
anticipation of one day finding out that Matt's repressed rage, as he spelt your name wrong, Matt. Finding out that Matt's repressed rage has sent him to the top of a clock tower, locked and loaded with a sniper rifle, I'm assuming. Keep an eye on Channel 4 News. The day is coming. Anyway, I was thinking, as an avid gamer, I've invested in both a PS4 and an Xbox One. With all the news of the upcoming PS Pro and the Scorpio, it has got me rethinking where I buy my multi-format games. I was previously favouring the PS4, but as I now have the Scorpio, as I now know the Scorpio will be the more powerful console in the future, I've started to think, lean that way instead. The promise of both native 4K support and HDR from the Scorpio make me think that even games released now will eventually benefit and look better on that console. Aside from the obvious benefits when it's out, do you think this is a shrewd marketing move from Microsoft to get consumers buying more from them a year before its release? Hence the really early tech announcement, or just a happy side effect? Have you considered it, and is it impacting your buying habits already?
Adam, was that Adam from Stoke-on-Trent?
It was, yes.
Adam, I think you might be the only one in the world thinking that way, mate. That didn't even cross my mind.
Mine neither, but I quite like it.
Matt, that sounds like something you would definitely do, though.
Well,
actually,
probably,
there's a new version coming out to make this slightly better. So what I'm going to do now is buy every game on this console in preparation for the new. I've got a spreadsheet.
HDR update. Yeah, I tell you what, the whole 2 consoles thing it's just a total stress, isn't it? Because you can't just say, "Oh, a game's out, I'm going to buy it." Now, like, "Our game's out. What are you getting on? What are you getting on? What are you going to play it every night? No, will you?" It's just come on to go to one console. It'd be so much easier.
It just takes one prick to turn around and go, "No, I'm getting on Xbox. Fuck you guys."
Oh, and yeah, and
just
we'll
like,
play on Xbox.
We've all got to get on Xbox now.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
And we all know who that person is.
The amount of games this generation I've had to play on Xbox, even though clearly, the PlayStation version's a better one, it's a nightmare. Anyway,
yeah, it's bad.
I haven't really thought about it. It's an interesting idea. I mean, maybe. There's got to be some benefits on Microsoft's side to announce a console a year before. It's quite strange.
I mean, they've totally got an open goal at the moment. I was really disappointed with the PS Pro and what it had to offer. And again, it's going back to that thing where they kind of have to cater for their older consoles, which they can't get out of really. Releasing a new console after 3 years is going to get people's backs up, and if they didn't include, like if it was kind of signalling the end of the PS4's life, that's no good.
Yeah, Microsoft have played a blinder in this. To be perfectly honest, because Sony can't afford to suddenly say here's a new console, because that would suddenly piss off all the users. Whereas Microsoft, they feel like they probably do need to start again in many ways, in inverted commas, to do what they can to get the jump on PlayStation. Whereas
it's weird,
Sony
isn't
can't
it?
say, sod the current PlayStation. I know there's 14 million of you out there, but sod that, get a new one. Like, Sony can't do that, so they've got to be so careful. They can't say a PS4 Pro or PlayStation. Is it PS4 Pro or PlayStation Pro? It's PlayStation Pro, isn't it? They can't just say PlayStation Pro is incredible, get this, it will blow your mind. They can't do that, because that will then piss off all the current PS4 owners. So they've got to be so delicate, whereas Microsoft can say that a year from now Scorpio is going to blow your balls off and you should get excited about that. So it's really fascinating how they're going to market this thing, and how the message is going to be relayed over the next 12 months.
It's weird how Sony have brought their one out first. Like, I find it very strange that because you would expect that Microsoft would want to get this out to sort of put the Xbox One behind them a little bit and start building the brand up again. But instead, it's Sony that have come out with theirs first. And it just kind of feels, I suppose it feels a bit of a halfway house job, which I guess it's supposed to. But
the Sony one feels like hubris. It really does feel like hubris.
I can't wait to see what the Scorpio is, and if it lives up to what they've been saying it's going to live up to.
I mean, the rumours of Scorpio is that that's 4 times the power of the current consoles, whereas PS Pro is like 2 and a bit times more powerful than PS4. So, if the
I don't fully understand what that means.
Well,
because power's in different ways, right? It's
not
just,
yeah, of course, yeah. But yeah, there's those rumours about whether the Scorpio's going to have like 16 gigs of RAM or some ridiculous amount of RAM. But regardless of that, I mean, yeah, the Scorpio feels like that could be a really huge, almost next generation console level of upgrade. Whereas it's good and it's more powerful than current PlayStation 4, but this feels very much like a half step. And if Microsoft are basically doing, in my mind, what they did with the 360, they basically killed the Xbox early to get the 360 out. I'm not saying they're killing the One, but it'd be interesting what they do with branding if they called it the Xbox One Scorpio, or if they just ditched that and treat this as if it is a new console. But it feels like they're just saying, look, we're going to do a massive, new, hugely powerful console and get it out essentially before the PlayStation 5, because the Pro is just very much a half step. So I feel like they're doing the same thing again, and it works so well for 360, getting out there quickly. So yeah, it's the whole thing's fascinating.
I've just got this image of Major Nelson coming out this time next year and going, no, we said it takes 4 times the amount of power to run. That's what we were saying.
It's going to cost you £300 a year in electricity. Get used to it, nerds.
Get a second job.
One other thing I wanted to talk about these consoles is that, again, Microsoft, I think, has played this super well, because they've been focused so much on backwards compatibility. A thing where when the PS4 came out, a lot of people, for me, I wasn't really bothered about backwards compatibility, because when you get a new console, you just really want to play the new games. It's nice to play the old ones, but generally, it's nice to have, but I generally just focus on the new games. Sony have obviously gone down this streaming route where you can pay a few quid a month. We have PlayStation Now. Microsoft have been working tirelessly to get as many Xbox and 360 games at least backwards compatible. So when the new console properly drops, they will have a massive back catalogue. And the things we take for granted now on iOS and Android, the fact that you have all your games and all your apps and they move from phone to phone, is something that Microsoft they've basically done in the background, and it's just going to happen. Where Sony, I think they're going to be in a bit of trouble, because unless they have got all the backwards compatibility happening in the background and they're just trying to sell PlayStation Now subscriptions, they aren't going to have this massive library that we've got on Xbox. So I think that's also really interesting.
As well, is like the PlayStation Now thing, it's not even a couple of quid, it's like 13 quid to use, which is like not really that you're not really that cheap. And it's one of the things that actually kind of pissed me off a bit when I bought a PS4, because I haven't played any like PS3 games like at all, and if I could have just been able to just buy those discs, I'd have really loved that. But you can't. It's just PlayStation Now is the only way.
Well, what do you guys think about this whole backwards compatibility and the fact that Sony and Microsoft are doing it so differently? Do you think that's going to affect Sony in a couple of years when suddenly they haven't got what Microsoft have with all their huge back catalogue and library?
I think it's going to be. I think backwards compatibility is going to continue to get used the way it has this generation. Is that basically no one will bother until someone's on the back foot, and then they'll come up with the better solution. Because I think that's totally what happened this generation. I don't think either Sony or Microsoft were going to bother, and then Microsoft found that actually it needed a win. So it's like, do you know what? Let's just fucking do backwards compatibility properly, and everyone will love it, and they do.
Wasn't PlayStation Now?
I've got a question about that.
Okay.
So wasn't PlayStation Now actually out before backwards compatibility comes to?
It's not brilliant though, is it? It's not. It's
no. I mean, it's shit. It's really shit. I don't like it at all. But yeah. Sorry, go on, James.
Well, I mean, obviously Nintendo need a massive win. What are they going to do? Like, is they going to have any of that in the? They're just going to do.
Just going to do some weird shit, like always.
I reckon they won't.
They're going to do the usual.
It's all
going
to be just HD updates of.
You might be right. I mean, there's been these suggestions that it's going to just run 3DS stuff. I mean, any 3DS game is going to look like horse shit on a television, so I don't know how that's going to work.
Nintendo Network's going to happen.
Yeah, boy.
It's going to happen. There's going to be a full subscription to a shit ton of their old games.
No, why
would they do that?
Why wouldn't they do that?
Because they can sell new remasters every 6 months.
There's only so many remasters of certain games that they can get out of people again. Whereas if
we're
they
all going to be buying Super Mario
everyone's
going
to keep doing it.
I was going to say
they're going to get numbers
and it's 4K.
They won't call it Nintendo Network. They'll literally just call it the Mario tax. Tenner a month. Deal with it, mate.
Yeah, Mario license, like the old TV license, isn't it?
Yeah.
They'll send my motor around with a clipboard going, "Oh, excuse me, is your TV plugged into your Nintendo console?" Okay, next question.
All right, Matt, I've got a question about follow-up. Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Because, so with the follow-up stuff, is it something that's generated a buzz, or is it just people correcting us? Well, what's the deal with it?
It's a bit of both.
Okay, because this
Because we've
probably
got some
should have been in
follow-up.
follow-up.
Very late in the show, but we've got some follow-up.
So anyway, so Luke says...
Can I just say, I've got a question about follow-up as well. Did no one have a go at me for saying Tagger instead of Cracker?
No one tweeted us about that.
Because fucking hell, that
Chris
was
Mann
a...
so
he was
lucky.
very happy.
That was a blunder and a half.
Very happy with pointing that out.
Anyway.
I couldn't give a shit, to be quite honest with you. Next.
Hello, fellas. Last week you talked about why cinemas cost so much and how come no one has opened a cheaper cinema. Ticket prices cost that much as film companies take upwards of 80% of the money made on a ticket. Cinemas make a loss on most shows unless it's a sellout. They make their money on popcorn, nachos, etc. There once was an Easy Cinema, same brand as EasyJet, that's had cheap tickets and all the food. Yeah, and all the food was brought from vending machines. In order to keep ticket prices cheap, they would show movies a week later than release. Unsurprisingly, it died on its arse. And that was from Luke Whitney.
Right, so that's why they're so keen
that should have been
to
in
sell
follow-up.
you fucking shitty food because they're not paying anything to the studios when they do it. That makes sense.
Basically, yeah.
And that's why the fucking food is so damn expensive, man. Popcorn costs them like literally fuck all to make. And
But they're making
they charge.
literally fuck all off your actual ticket, so yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah,
fair
but
then, innit?
I can't go in cinema and not buy a large combo. I just can't go watch film. I don't buy like a
I'm exactly
£4
the same.
£4 Coke
Exactly
and a
the
£6
same.
popcorn. I don't care if it's a tenner. I'm doing it. You can't stop
Yeah.
me.
I'm exactly the
We're
same.
keeping
I'm
the
not
cinema
happy.
alive, Dave. You and I.
I'm not happy unless my lips are shriveled after a huge thing of salted popcorn.
That reminds me.
They need to be shriveled.
Next weekend, I'm making you all watch Popstar. Deal with it.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Yes. No, we are. No, we are, Dave. Yeah. It's an SNL movie. It'll be good.
No, I'm all right. Thanks.
No, you'll love it.
Next question.
Okay, the reveal of the PS4 Pro caused me to do two things that I'm sure Sony did not have the intention of doing. I cancelled my pre-order for the PSVR and decided to build my own gaming PC. Let me explain why. I cancelled my PSVR because the Pro is said to improve the VR experience. In order to have the best VR experience, I needed to buy the Pro. In order to take full advantage of the Pro, though, I would need a 4K TV, which I don't have at the moment and won't be for a while in my bedroom where I play games. Therefore, I thought it would be best for me to cancel my pre-order as I wouldn't be using either device to its full potential without spending upwards of £1,000 for everything. The money I saved on the headset, camera, controllers and Pro, I decided to put into building a gaming PC. I can understand why people are put by the complications of PC gaming, but it doesn't bother me too much. I thought that if console updates like the Pro are going to be happening more regularly, it might be cheaper in the long run to go to PC gaming. Plus, it now means I get to play Microsoft exclusives like Forza Horizon 3. I will keep my PS4 for the exclusives and will likely get a PS5 for the same reason. Do you think other people have done the same as what I have done? I've heard that others have on various forums for the same reasons as me, and I wonder if this is an unanticipated effect from the Pro announcement for Sony, from Kurt Lewin.
What I don't get about this, right, is that you've decided to get a VR headset and you were thinking about getting an upgraded PS4, but instead you spent that money on the PC. I don't haven't saved. I don't get what the decent.
I think he was saying that because originally he was thinking about just getting the headset, but then as soon as they announced the Pro, it kind of makes it feel like you've got to get that to get the best out of it. Whereas before he hadn't really considered that, I think.
But no, I don't think they're comparable, right? Because
I don't think it's about saving money. It's more the fact, like, well, if he's spending about £1,000 for this, he might as well buy a PC and play games that look incredible and have much more options open to him, indie games, VR games, etc., etc. I feel like it's not about saving money, because like if I'm basically going to spend
how much do you think it is to build a PC that can run Oculus?
That can run Oculus. I mean, there's been articles like, look, mate, you can do it for £500 and stuff, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. But then, like, £500 plus the Oculus, still looking at £1,200, right?
Yeah, but that PC can run Microsoft Word.
and Forza.
Can't do that on your PS4 Pro.
Yeah, so it's not about saving money. It's about if he's going to spend $1,000 to get this PSVR plus the
he
Pro,
might as well get the ultimate experience
might as well buy a
out of
PC and have incredible looking games and such a large variety. And yeah, I think this whole Pro thing is really strange. And also, you know, it's people are going to be made to decide: do you want a Pro or do you want a PSVR? And a lot of people think I'll buy the Pro because it's like, I want a better PlayStation. It can make all my games look better rather than some silly headset thing. I think it's crazy that Sony will do this. And like, you know, instead of focusing the message on PSVR, they're like, actually, £350, you can also buy this instead. Or, I mean, people aren't going to buy both. Obviously, there will be a small subset that do, but this has just muddied the waters even more. It's crazy, really.
You are right. I mean, it's weird. It's very strange. You're totally right, actually. Here are two products that cost exactly the same, and you'll either want one or the other.
Yeah. I mean, some people want both, and I would definitely like a Pro after I get the VR headset, but it's confusing as fuck. Why would you do it, Sony? It's weird. It's just
Sony are on a
upsetting.
power trip at the moment, aren't they? They certainly seem like arrogant Sony is coming back into play again. Just wow, they'll buy whatever. Just stick it out.
That's what I said. It's hubris. The whole thing. It's.
But yeah, in terms of whether, you know, a lot of people decide to go PC. I've definitely heard from people who said I might as well go PC game, you know, do a PC gaming thing now rather than, you know, doing the constant upgrades on console. I think you won't be alone there, Kurt. I think loads of people will be doing that.
Yeah, like at the end of the day,
Yeah, maybe you're
consoles
right.
have been robbed of some of that simplicity, and that was always their strongest thing against bothering with a PC. So, yeah, I can see why some people might jump over.
That is a good point. I've still got. I don't think anything's ever going to convince me to make the switch. To be honest with you, I'm such a curmudgeon. Is that the right word?
Yeah, it'll do.
Yeah.
Doctor. Good.
It could be. Yeah.
Right, James.
Okay, James. Let's
Come on.
put that brain to use now. Come on.
You're
Okay,
a
so we've got
doctor
some
now, boy.
tweets here. So if you want to tweet us, it's at ComputerGamePod on Twitter. So the first one's from Dirty Bristow. He says, before all the big guns come out for Christmas, what has been Game of the Year so far, and can you see anything beating it? I vote for Doom. And that's
Doom,
not a bad
I need to
choice.
Doom's
play
up there,
Doom.
man. Doom is up there.
I need to
definitely.
play it.
Brilliant.
Really good. Earth Defense Force 4.1 is probably one of mine. Hitman's up there. Tons of
Dark Souls
tons of
3.
things. Yeah, Dark Souls. God, fuck, that was this year, wasn't it? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a good fucking year. I have to say though, I don't think. I mean, it says, you know, the big guns coming out for Christmas. There's not much left on my list. I mean, Last Guardian,
I was
obviously.
going to say the opposite.
Okay.
I was going to say there's a very good opportunity to nick mine away from me. Definitely.
I mean, obviously, Types 2, Battlefield 1,
Last Guardian.
Last Guardian.
Mafia 3.
Oh yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
yeah. You got one, yeah, but then if you heard the shit about that, no
What's the shit
press
about
are
that?
getting copies until the game is out.
Yeah, someone said this to me. Was it you that
Yeah, it was
mentioned
me.
that,
Yeah,
Matt?
yeah.
Yeah, come on. We know that means fuck all these days.
No, this is they're not getting copies until the game is out. Normally they get the copies first, and then the embargo is the day of release. Press aren't getting copies until it's out. That's different.
No, it's not the same thing.
Dave, I know
thing.
you're excited, but it doesn't bode well.
It's going to be the best game ever. Okay. Yeah, no. There are quite a few games. I think even Pez would be up there for me at the moment, which is saying something. It's not been a classic year, is it?
Mine's Inside so far.
Of course,
not
yeah.
sure,
Inside's
I'm not
another
sure.
good
I haven't
shout.
obviously played as many games as you guys have, but for me, I can't see. I don't know what games could come and potentially beat that. Yeah, who knows? But Inside is up there for me. Definitely, it's that was a special game.
Yeah, Inside's a good shout. James, what's yours?
Well, the thing is, does this have to be like a game? Is it a game that I really like, or does it have to be something which is like genre breaking and amazing?
No,
Does it
just
just
matter?
matter?
Your game of the year,
yeah,
mate.
it's whatever it means to you. Yeah.
Okay, then probably what I'm playing at the moment, which is Paper Mario, because it's really good.
Embargo.
Ooh.
I know. Yeah.
Embargo one, isn't there, James?
Get us fucking
It's
sued.
well, yeah, and maybe this is just like an early impressions. It's like a preview of what I think.
Yeah, it's a preview. Yeah.
Maybe this is a preview that I'm saying it's my game of the year.
It's a preview of the year in many ways.
Maybe it's a preview that I'm saying it's probably getting a 10 out of 10.
The first level is 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Seriously, it's just a preview of my opinion of what it's going to be. But yeah,
it's a little preview, listeners,
It's a preview
of James's
of my
opinion. Next question.
Okay. Morbid Beard says that's a good username. Which console do you think is not necessarily the best, but the one you have fondest memories of?
Here we
For
go.
a particular reason.
This is it.
I'm going for the Sega Master System 2.
I'm
Because it
going to
wasn't the
Sega
best,
Saturn.
but
Master System
I've got
2.
good
What's wrong with the
Oh
first
my
one?
god, Matt, Sega Saturn.
Okay, no, let's go James first. Master System 2, yeah, I love that as well.
it was a great console. It's didn't have as many games as the NES, but it was still good. There was a lot of good stuff on it.
Yeah,
Wonder
I
Boy
had a
3.
much poor version of Sonic, but it did have Alex Kidd built in. And I love a Master System 2.
Alex the Kid.
And Master System 2 was shit as well. I didn't have any fond memories of that.
No, I had a Master System. I fucking barely remember it.
Alex Kidd, come on.
No, I had the first Master System that the only built-in game was the fucking snail maze.
That snail one.
Yeah. Which is good, don't get me wrong. It had really good music, if I remember right. I'm going to have to look that up now. But no, I think for me, probably the GameCube.
Oh, I did have
It's
good...
up there for me.
Just in
Yeah, I had
terms
good
of,
memories
like,
of
that was the last console I had where everyone sitting around playing games together regularly was a thing, so... Yeah.
Mine's probably either the N64 or the original Xbox.
Original Xbox.
Because the original Xbox, simply for the Halo sessions that we had, and for when Xbox Live launched.
Yeah, like...
That was such a huge thing.
MotoGP was amazing on that.
Yeah, MotoGP, Whacked, all the classics. And the N64, because I was at that age where, there were so many good games on it. GoldenEye was amazing. WCW, NWO Revenge.
Killer Instinct, Mario Kart.
Not so much Killer Instinct. I never really got into that series, but Banjo-Kazooie, Diddy Kong Racing. The list goes on. The amount of incredible games on that system. That year where all my mates got Zelda Ocarina of Time.
That's the one, yeah.
I thought that was our new theme tune music.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, classic. I know. I've got a soft spot for the PlayStation 2, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
That's definitely up there. So some classic ones. I never really had a PlayStation 1, so I couldn't love that as much as a lot of people do. But
I had, years ago, I remember my one of my cousins was like, "Oh yeah, boyfriend wants to get one of the new consoles. What should he get?" And he's thinking of getting a PlayStation. Me and brother like, "No, I got an N64." And like throughout my life, I've sort of phased in and out of guilt around that, and that sometimes I'm like, "No, I should have just told him to get a PlayStation because he'd have loved it." And sometimes I'm like, no, fuck him, he should have got the N64. Like, basically, he got the N64 and then barely used it, apparently. And he was like, oh, yeah, I just want to play fucking FIFA and that. But he couldn't because we told him to get an N64 and he just had, like, Cruising USA and some other shit on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've mentioned it before, but a lot of people at my school hated me when I convinced them all to get a Sega Saturn.
I wish we went to the same school, Dave, because me and my mates all bought Saturns, and that's easily my favourite console ever.
How?
Because Panzer Dragoon Saga. Also, the fact that they gave away the entire first disc on the official Sega Saturn magazine. The official Sega Saturn magazine was incredible. I love that editorial team like more than my own family. Frankly, it was just amazing to be a Sega fan back in those days. Yes, the Saturn was a nightmare to code, and the games were gash, but. It just, and I had the choice to get either a PlayStation or Saturn, but I was like, I'm not going to let Sony with a stupid PlayStation. It sounded like some fucking kid's toy. I was like, I'm not getting a PlayStation. It sounds rubbish. I got Saturn. I loved it. Like International Superstar Soccer, that was brilliant. I obviously had like Daytona, Sega Rally. Oh, it's just, I love the Saturn so much. Burning Rangers was class. Deep Fear, that's one of the last games.
See, I bought one from CEX for £20. Wasn't that impressed? It was no
That's
good.
probably because the lithium battery's probably gone now, and it's a nightmare to. Yeah, you had to change the lithium battery, and you can go to H. Samuels to get a new lithium battery because otherwise the clock would reset. Oh yeah,
H. Samuels.
Nightmare of a console, but yeah, easily the console I've loved the most. I've had incredible games. Yeah, we played like hours and hours around my mate Peter's house playing that, and yeah, I love the pads. The console itself was massive. It was purple when it came out in Japan, and good times.
Nights into Dreams was amazing.
Nights
when
into Dreams.
when that crazy analog pad came out for it, the
Yeah,
massive disc of a pad.
I used to play Christmas nights every Christmas.
Yeah, same here.
Oh,
Totally.
Yeah, I used to listen to that CDs in my hi-fi stereo, hi-fi whatever. Because I had,
that's too much.
all the banging tracks.
No.
Yeah, I could do it. We should do a whole Sega Saturn special, Dave. You had one, I had one.
We did a
should go through the old
karaoke
games.
episode once on Joypod where Sean sang the some of the songs from Nights into
It
Dreams.
was good.
It was good.
Enjoyed that.
Dave, I think we should do a Saturn special where we can go through old games, talk about it.
Well, let's do that weekend. That'll come up.
I'll be in VR, mate. Next question.
James, have you got one? Have you said yours?
Yeah, I said Master System 2.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ! That's why I forgot. Okay, next question.
Okay, so Desmond says, have you ever put yourself through a shit game just because it's part of a series you like? For example, Zelda 2 on the NES.
No, I've not got the patience for something like that. I just get the I don't think so anyway.
No, I mean, like Dragon Age 2, I put too much time in because I really liked the first one and assumed the second one was going to get good at some point, and it never did. So I guess that counts, but that's not like, I don't know. I think what he means is more like going back to a game, and it's like something like Zelda obviously has been sort of part of our lives since ever. And then you sort of go, hang on, I never actually played this one from 20 years ago. And it's shit, but I'm going to play it anyway. I've never done anything like that.
I've tried to go back to Mass Effect 1 a few times and just think, oh, God.
Has it aged that badly?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I know they improved loads of things for 2, but...
It was absolutely appalling after trying it. Like, I tried it before 2, and I didn't even get through it then. So, yeah, not good.
I mean, I played Uncharted 3.
Yeah, good point.
That probably counts, right?
That probably counts, Matt. You're right. Come on, James.
Come on, here we go.
Either answer the
Come on.
question or move
You're a
on.
doctor
Come
now,
on.
we can do this.
Okay, let's move on. We got the MREX podcast says, with Crash Bandicoot about to get a remake treatment, what 90s platformer deserves a reboot? I'm voting for Zool. That's me personally, not.
I'm voting for Skate 3.
Yeah, Skate 3.
Next question.
That's it.
Good. Well, sorry about this week. Hopefully we'll be back next week. I don't know. We might not bother. Well, we bothering Matt?
Yeah,
Should we do it next
Of course
week?
we'll be back next week. Why
Keep
wouldn't
an
we
eye
be back
on
next week?
keep an eye on the icon for the podcast. If suddenly all 4 lines go black,
Yeah,
you need to.
that'd be amazing if we only mentioned someone died in an accident because one of the lines went out.
I've got a long drive up to yours. Don't joke about that, you utter nutcase.
Yes, Adam.
Okay, Matt, it's your turn
okay,
now.
so yeah, we're doing this live show. So go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Computer Game Show, or just search for The Computer Game Show on YouTube. On there is like a panel where you can basically hit remind me or subscribe or whatever. We will be doing a live show on Saturday,
Hit
15th
like and
October.
remind me. That's what they all say, innit, those YouTubers. Hit like and remind me.
Go to the page, that's what it says. Anyway, yeah, Saturday, 15th of October, 7 p.m, we're going to do some sort of live podcast thing. Still yet to be decided, but go there. Obviously, the show's also on iTunes, it's on Pocket Cast, etc. It'd be great if you can tweet us. We're at Computer Game Pod on Twitter. We're on Facebook as well. And on our YouTube channel, new episodes go up every single week. You can email us, thecomputergameshow@gmail.com, and that is your lot.
Good. And thanks for living it. We will see you next week, maybe.
Definitely.
And then the week after that.
Definitely.
And then the week after that. And then so on. Goodbye.
Dave, you okay? What's wrong?
I had a stressful week this week.
Oh, hang on. Sean,
Yeah.
poached eggs or fried eggs?
Oh, fried, please.